series. Would love to get this to over 1,000 likes to celebrate this record-breaking 25K GG Super Millions live edition. Take a couple of seconds to just click that like button. Helps us grow the channel, reach a wider audience. World-class free poker content being brought to you from the Hoiana Golf Resort and Casino here in Hoi An, Vietnam. Webster Lim against Roman Hrabec. Heads up for title number 1 of the series.
Yeah, so far Webster's journey has been just grinding his way, but one opponent. This opponent is the guy who's been active in 4-3 suited, 3-betting, 2.4 million. It's aggressive.
Yeah, Hrabec's just trying to send a message early, it feels like here, Randy.
Queen 10 offsuit. It's an alright hand. In heads up, playability goes up a lot. He will make the call in position. Hoping to flop a little piece. That is a good window card. Smashed it. Actually, a little piece for Roman as well. 3-better. Bottom pair, backdoor flush draw. Could see him actually use a mixed strategy of, you know, betting small or check calling. See if he wants to maintain the lead.
Continues for just south of third pot. 3-bet pot, bottom pair, V top pair. SPR going to be less than 2 going to the turn. Should Webster just come with a call?
Default here is to call with Queen 10. Roman's got to be worried up against a better pair. That is a bit of a scary card for even Webster, even though he does pick up that spade draw.
That a turn card that you expect to see Roman slow down on?
I would expect so. With the hand he's holding too, like if he bets again, doesn't have much equity.
It does tap the felt.
For Webster, I think betting isn't ideal because you tend to bloat the pot in a spot that you could get jammed on, and you don't really want to put in 10 million more chips on this turn card. If he's betting, he just doesn't want to give free equity to his opponent. Checks as planned. Bad river card.
Well, the Ace of Hearts maybe giving Roman a path to victory here. 8.1 out there.
It seems like a card that Roman should be taking a stab at. He's expected to 3-bet the big aces, expected to bet small on these little flops. Webster does have these middling hands a lot. Gonna give up though, just doesn't think he could shake his opponent.
3.
Gets checked through, and that is the first major blow of this heads-up match, Randy, and with it, Webster Lim, after just 3 hands of heads-up play,
That's lead.
extends his lead to a 3-1 chip lead. And with Hrabec coming out guns blazing, really could go either way. I mean, this could be over very quickly. Could take a long time should he double. You can take a quick look over on pokerstake.com to buy some action of your favorite players. We saw Michael Soiser make the final table of this very event, and I believe he had his action up on Facebook groups, Instagram, as well as on PokerStake, obviously.
700.
Or sorry, he had the links
700.
for his PokerStake action up on his Instagram and his Facebook page. Plenty of other players selling small pieces over there, and it really just does. I mean, I love what PokerStake are doing, where just making this all the more immersive, if you will, and
That's the
engaging.
right
You just
word.
have 10, 20 bucks, you know, on
Mm-hmm.
2, 3 of your favorite poker players. Little sweat ski on the side. Although Ali, being the savage that he is, was leaning towards betting on players that he's not a fan of. So if they do, you know, go on to win, at least he wins in the process and isn't just sat there commentating out of spite. So, you know.
It's a win-win situation. Okay, I've never heard anyone bet on players you don't like.
I mean, look, if anyone's going to...
We want to know who those players are, so we can get
I
them in
didn't dig
touch.
deep enough. He didn't let me know, but diving back into this, Webster flopping an inside straight flush draw on the King 6-4, 2 clubs.
Check call, check raise, both pretty good plays. Gonna check raise. Smashed it a little bit too much to play passively. In the end, you do have 3 high. If you can get these hands to fold their equity, it's a big win. Now, Roman is a little bit suspicious. He sees some back doors, but doesn't really want to keep committing chips with, you know, marginal, ambitious spots.
Having a 7, not the greatest card to hold, blocking some of the 7-3s, 7-8s of the world.
Then again, what if he's the type that's like, well, I can get a straight. Backdoor straight draw, possible.
You're right, it's
backdoor
all
club
about
draw.
perspective.
But, you know, Webster's journey has really just been playing solid, collecting chips, hasn't been reckless, and it's working.
Rabbits down to sub 30. So starting this heads-up match with 44 big blinds.
So now we've seen the first limp in this heads up as we approach under 30 big blinds effective. I think Webster seems pretty confident in his post-flop abilities. Open-ended against top pair.
Well, I mean, this could be it right here. Randy on certain turn cards. 10-8-5 rainbow top pair for Roman. Open-ended straight draw for Webster.
Good spot for Webster to put in multiple barrels.
300?
Suppose he's contemplating putting in a raise in sometimes, I think. Usually would call, especially with this kicker.
Seems to be struggling with the optics. To lean in, see, do I really have top pair? Is that 10-8-5? King of diamonds on a turn, completing the rainbow.
With the hand Webster's got, I think it's a solid card to strongly consider putting in more chips. You can put pressure on 5x, 8x with 2 overs out there. You got the backup. You could hit a straight with a 9 or 4.
1 million?
Maybe. Yeah, I like this bet.
1
Even
million?
though it's not going to work, but it makes a lot of sense to put pressure on, especially in a limp pot. Rangers are extra wide.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one, Randy. 7 high with no showdown. It has plenty of equity as well, should Hrabec continue on this turn, which we can see the flopping top pair. Don't want to say as if it's preordained, but one would assume he's not going to go anywhere as he does flick in the 1 million. 3.5 out there as the deuce of clubs rolls off on the river, improving Roman to 2 pair. And now, Randy, we know he will not be going anywhere,
Yeah,
regardless of...
How often do you say the 2 improve someone's hand? Gets a 10 deuce.
The only time I can think of is Doyle Brunson winning the main and Scott Blumstein winning the main.
I did not know Scott won with 10 deuce.
Not with 10 deuce, but you said on the Deuce River.
Ah, got it. Never mind. Anyways, back to the hand, and you can see Webster's thinking about it. It is credible for him to bet again. Then again, there is a lot of straight draws I missed. No flush draw was present. Would increase the chance you would be value betting.
2 million.
Going for 2 million.
2 million?
Question is, does Hrabec's value jam this 2-pair against this sizing?
Definitely a merit to jamming. You could call, I guess, when you jam. I'm trying to think what bluffs you could represent. It's pretty hard. It'd be pretty hard to represent a bluff. To check call, check raise all in with this board texture. No hands got there. Can you get called by worse? Possible.
I think you can get caught by worse.
Yeah.
We're just going to have some traps. Some pre-flop traps. Ace, kings, aces. King X that stabs flop.
All in.
Yeah.
It does decide that 2-pair is good enough to check jam. So get some back up to 12.6 million.
Sorry.
We've got ourselves a heads-up match. Let us know in the chat who you guys think is going to close this one out. Let us know who you're rooting for. Webster Lim looking to become a 2-time Triton champion. First Triton trophy for him coming back in Madrid last year. Hrabec's an online crusher. First Triton series for him.
700.
He's going to bump it up. It is
Seven.
ace on ace action. Webster will bring in a 3-bet soon. 40 big blinds. You'll probably see an adjustment in the 3-bet sizing with the deeper stacks relative to, you know, say 25, 30
2.7.
blinds. 2.7. 9 big blinds. With the bigger 3-bet, it puts your opponent more in a spot to kind of jam or fold
My time?
rather than to call a 3-bet.
Is it my time?
Ace 6 is... It sucks folding an ace heads up. But it doesn't have very good playability in the 3-bet pot.
Oh.
It feels that if you were going to want to put more chips, it'd have to be in the form of a re-raise. But then that feels over excessive, so fold seems pretty good.
Yeah, he does agree with you on that one, Randy. It's the ace-6 finds the mark. So every 13 hands, the blind level will increase. But we are heads up. See a poll over on the Triton Poker Series Instagram page as well. Get involved. Vote for who you think is going to take down this GG Super Millions 25K.
Four 3 suited wants to 3-bet again, maybe. Didn't work out the first time.
2.4.
He likes the 4-3 suited. Heart specifically. But ace deuce is similar to ace 6. It's just doesn't play well in the 3-bet pot.
Sorry.
Give him 4-3 hearts one more time.
Think he's going to go 3 for 3?
3 for 3? I think so.
That wouldn't surprise me one bit. Seems like someone that is more than happy to lean towards the aggression side. Got Matty in the chat saying, I'm Czech, so I'm cheering for Roman, but I also like Webster as well. It's a very Swiss response there, right? It's about as Swiss as it gets. Love it.
You got to pick one.
Yeah, chat, we have to remain impartial in the commentary booth. You guys at home, you can pretty much say what you want. Well, you know, within reason.
So actually, this is Roman's first limp in the heads up as well, so they're introducing it. What happens is we increase wider ranges, stack to pot ratio. It's the one that's more comfortable playing these, fighting for these small pots that ends up winning it. Open-ended again of 7-6, misses once again, checks through on the flop. It's a little tempting to bet with 7-6. Be targeting like those king X.
Yeah, fold out queen highs,
Yeah.
king highs, jack highs.
I wouldn't mind some kind of bet.
1.5.
How about a big bet? 1.5 million.
An interesting sizing from Webster on the ace 9-8. Hrabec's the player with more ace-x. One would assume, and more traps in his range on the button.
I think Roman's reading as a kind of the hand. It's some kind of draw. Which one though is the question? Is it like, wow, look at that call, bottom pair. Nicely done, but we still got one more card. How about that one?
How about the third nuts for Webster Lim? 10 of clubs, giving him the 10 high straight, 3.9 million out there. The over-betting the turn. Does he go over-bet?
Kind of. Usually, when you see someone overbet the turn, they get there. They follow through with it. They send that story, kind of like I'm trying to muscle you out. I'll tell you though, 10 is not the card you want a hero call off of. Those hands that he was trying to pick off were the 6-7s. I guess some of those hands would make a pair and probably slow down, like 10 Jack, 10-7, 10-6. But it connects those cards he was trying to pick up to some extent.
Yeah, I'm blocking all of the pairs. Really nice spot. Let's go for a large sizing. See a poll in the chat over on the Triton
Okay, yeah.
Poker YouTube channel. As Webster does come with the overbet on both turn and river. Get involved in the voting. Let us know who you think's going to win. Love to hear from you all, as always. As Hrabec's pained by this decision. Having the 4 of diamonds really not good. Does let go of his turn bottom pair, and Webster back up a 3-1 chip lead. Those of you just joining us, this is event number 1, the Triton Super High Roller Series here at the Hoiana Golf Resort and Casino in Hoi An, Vietnam. 653,000 locked up for these two players. 965,000 will go to the eventual champion. as well as that trophy and Shambhala Jewels bracelet.
Did just increase the blind, so with this GG structure, we're going to increase the blinds every 13 hands.
That's correct.
So 12 now, after this one just played out. Could be quick with those blind increases, yeah. Heads up.
13 hands is a lot of hands,
Yeah.
I'd say, for heads up. I think it probably, if you did it over like a large sample, it probably balances out pretty evenly,
Right.
I'd say. Just don't have much raise folding in heads up, right? There's a lot of flops.
That's true. Well, we've got King X and Ace X offsuit, limping.
Oh, I'm sorry, Randy. Twitch chat just...
So what did they do? What did they drop on you?
There's a guy called I'm Goated 3 on YouTube. He said, I'm too goated to vote. Sorry. Well, you know what, I'm goated. You're not invited back to vote in the future. Another cooler developing, this time in the form of top pair v bottom pair.
I'm not sure if cooler is the
I
right
think heads
word,
up,
but I see what you're trying to say. So because it's a limp pot, Webster finds that it's kind of better from the show weakness, since it's more likely that Roman's got the ace X with the limp and the check through on pre-flop.
Jack of Diamonds now giving Roman an additional 4 outs going to the river.
Roman must not think his hand is good. The question is, can he get a better hand to fold? He does not think so.
It'd be a disaster to have to bet fold this after picking up that additional equity on the turn, as it does check through. Webster, the 100% check mark next to his name.
Might be going for some value. Try to get hero called by some Jack X, 10X type hands. I don't think he would want to go too big. Smaller makes sense. Trying to get crying calls. Let's see what he comes with. 1.4. It's a sizable bet.
Yeah, 70%. Difficult to make pairs
Trying to think what he's
and
trying
hold
to.
them.
He could rep like, what, deuce 3, deuce 5 as a bluff. Maybe some queen high floats. That feels like a must. Take a chance and we'll scoop that one.
Webster just grinding away. Has his man on the ropes. Roman now playing 25 bigs. There's a lot to this heads-up match for Webster. Winning 2 Triton trophies, titles, joining an exclusive club, and kind of proving to your peers that the first time wasn't a one-off fluke.
Mm-hmm.
That one coming in a short deck event back in Madrid of last year, to now add a No Limit Hold'em trophy to his already impressive Triton track record. Really set him apart from some of his peers.
Yeah, and I think he likes playing No Limit Hold'em more as well, so it makes sense for him to try to pick up one of those trophies.
See someone using the Triton Poker Plus app to see that Brewer is already in event number 2 after busting this 25K in 3rd.
No breaks.
True grinder. Loves the game.
I mean, if you're on a heater, you might as well ride it out.
Oh, dude.
I mean, he got in, what, that pair over pair? 8s and 9s
Yeah.
against Davies, hits it. Yeah, I'd be registering right away in event number 2 as well.
Ace Queen against Kings.
Yeah.
Pre-final table bubble.
I see a little flush draw for Webster. Seems to be hitting the deck a little bit better than Roman.
Small sample, but yeah, I have to agree with you on that one.
Last time Webster picked up a flush draw, he did check raise. This time feels a little different.
Different stack depth, doesn't want to play for it all here. 25 bigs effective.
And we know Robin's capable of some creative bluffs. This one seemed pretty tough to bet again with 8-4.
Well,
The
doesn't
thing,
need to bluff, Randy.
yeah, he does improve. The thing is, Webster's got incentive to try to represent something. Is a 4 going to call on this board texture? Maybe, but it's not an easy call. It's 4th pair. On a board where the straight draws would have picked up a pair. Like to see Webster fire away.
It's like 1.4 million again, same sizing that he used with that top pair just a few hands ago.
Yeah, but that one wasn't shown, so
That's true.
Roman isn't aware that it was top pair last time. Lays it down. See? Doesn't matter you improve.
Webster just chipping away. See a few people asking about the delay. We are on a 60-minute delay, I believe. So protect the integrity of the game, and just for the sake of reiterating the security measures that we have here at Triton. For those of you wondering why Webster is allowed to look down at his phone, he's checking out the Triton Poker Plus app, which is allowed. Players are allowed to check out the app to keep up to date with the chip counts. One of the many things that actually attracts players to come to these Triton events is the Triton Poker Plus app. Makes it so much easier to keep track of the chips of your opponents and also to sweat along.
Yeah.
Outer tables. Trust me when I say security team here, Big Tony, head of security, Uncle Tone, doesn't mess about. Good luck trying to get into the back room without raising any suspicions, I'll tell you that much.
Also, players, once again, we thank you for your support. We have broken on the second day another record for biggest entries in the prize event with 172 entries. Thank you very much.
You hear that round of applause in the background. Randy, that new record that was set here in event number 1 didn't last that long, did it?
No.
Less than 24 hours for that record to be broke. In the very next event, event number 2, the 15K 8 max, drew 172 entries. So Triton,
It's amazing.
really just leveling up, if you will, in 2023.
900.
This was meant to be the warm-up series of the year. Everyone was saying, yeah, you know, it's going to be chill. Henry, Randy, Ali, you know, going to be fine. Small fields, no.
No, it's only uphill from here. All right, so we got raise call here. Big blind 400K. Dominated queen. A little straight draw for Webster. Is it enough to maybe find a way to win this pot?
It certainly feels like it, doesn't it? 10, 9, 6, 2 clubs. Roman still with the best of it with his 2 overs and ace high. Webster with that gut shot.
Take one off.
A spicy turn card. Roman now drawing the 3rd nut flush. So, by the way, don't need to take our word for it when it comes to the Triton Poker Plus app. There are plenty of people, Selena Kid 86, saying the app is pretty legit over on YouTube.
There's an event number 2, the 15K at the end of this level. All players will be on the 15-minute grid. That's all players in event number 2, the 15K. And the level 15-minute grid is also...
I think as played, I would like to see Roman take that free card. Once you check the flop, it's hard to get a better hand to fold. So ace-queen is good as long as he doesn't fold. It would be hard to call bet. Can Webster maybe try to represent like a 9x, 6x right now? Checks through on the flop, checks through on the turn. Would probably check on the flop and turn. It's credible.
Well, 2.2 out there. Webster blocking.
Look at this.
Decent amount of value.
1.2.
With that 7 of diamonds.
It feels milky, but he's just got queen high.
See if Roman can sniff this one out. He can't. Does let go of the winner yet again, and seems like some signs of frustration being displayed there, Randy, with that fold. Kind of, you know, we've all been there, right? You know, where it feels like the deck's just not cooperating with you. It feels like you're just getting run over. Needs to stay composed, and maybe this is where some of that experience of Webster going to come into effect after being here many times before on one of the biggest stages in the poker world.
Yeah, it's because, you know, in live poker, you know, you don't get as many hands per minute, so you could get frustrated, feel like the deck's not hitting you. And, you know, like he finally gets a good hand, ace-queen, feels like he has to fold it. He's been 3-betting some other hands, got some action, lost those pots. Doesn't feel so good.
Webster with almost a 4-1 lead now. 81 bigs against the 22 bigs of Roman. Opting to limp the Queen 7 of clubs on the button. Kind of what you were referencing earlier on, Randy.
Not a bad flop for Roman.
Yeah, more importantly, Webster with a piece of his own on the 9-8-7 in the form of bottom pair.
Looking good. I see a straight flush draw on trip 9s. Does it get better?
Too much of a hand. A little bit hold 'em, especially in a heads up. 1.2 out there. Hrabec's gonna probe turn for just south of half pot. Would it be a probe in a limped pot? Can anyone
I don't know if probe's the right word.
correct me on that one?
It doesn't seem right, does it?
With
Probing with
stabs?
trip 9s.
Stab. Well, no, probe obviously being when you're the out of position player and the flop goes check, check, and
Yep.
I spy with my little eye.
Straight flush.
Little straight flush ski for Roman Hrabec.
he's looking at it like.
Does he get any bonuses for having trips as well? Trips and a straight flush? Is that a new thing?
Well, you do get the guaranteed chips in the middle.
So please, one time, have the 5 of hearts, Webster. So it looks like another smallish bet. 700,000 into 2.2 million. Trying to squeeze out some value from the the two pairs of the world.
Yes. Maybe like 5x. They was able to continue some straights. A smaller bet designed to get a wider range of hands. The con lays it down correctly. Queen 7. So the size was perfect against the hand he was up against, just that he still couldn't get his opponent to call.
Quick shot in the background, and how about a quick shot of the Shambhala Jewels bracelets that are being awarded here at the Triton Super High Roller Series. We've obviously seen the first one that's going to be awarded on display at this feature table next to that Triton trophy. Special shout out, as always, to Shambhala Jewels, the official partner of the Triton Poker Series, crowning our poker champions with exquisite men's jewelry. Wouldn't mind snagging myself a piece.
How are you going to get one?
I mean,
Purchase
you know
it.
what, Randy? With that attitude, that stinking attitude of yours,
You're not sharing it with me.
you know, I was going to let you wear it on Mondays.
All right, so limp pot, and it's actually raise
Yeah, I love
from
this.
Webster with Jack 3 offsuit.
Big fan of this. Jack 3-0. 3.5x. It's really leaning into that 25 big blind stack of Roman.
Or doesn't get Roman to fold. 7-4 clubs, very playable, in position. Monotone.
9-3 deuce. Webster flopping middle pair and a jack high flush draw. Another complete whiff for Roman. 3.2 out there. Monotone board. Webster opting to check it on over to Roman. Randy.
I think he feels that it's hard to get a better hand to fold, given he's paired. He's got backup. Maybe he hits a flush and his opponent just stabs away. Pot control. It makes sense. Roman just feels, though, his opponent should be stabbing. He's going to try and take it away. Might feel like it's weak. Probably with intention to attack those king, queen, king, jacks. Ace X, that would probably raise. No connection, check the flop. With the price he put on the flop, though, it would get those hands to continue at least to the turn.
Oh, look at this development, Randy. Roman actually picking up a
Inside
gut
straight
shot
draw.
straight draw. Webster inducing a stab from Roman on the 9-3 deuce mono board. 84% favorite to take this one down. Heading to the river unless Roman could get him to fold his pair of threes.
I mean, pair of threes is it's not ideal right
2.5.
now. We know he's willing to fire. We've seen it before.
Fire away he does. A sum of 2.5 million into 4.6. Setting up a
Again.
very natural river SPR of around 0.6, Randy.
Yeah, Roman thinks that Webster's got two high cards with one heart right now. Can't shake him.
Surely alarm bells ringing in Roman's head now. 9.6 out there as he glares over to Webster Lim. Line of clubs pairing the board. So hearts bricking.
The way Webster's played it seems like a high card, one heart hand. Ace X of hearts. He raised it pre-flop. Didn't even put it. He check called the flop. Didn't see bet. Check called the turn. Seems a bit weak. His holding is not optimal, but it is a pair of threes. Is Roman going to fire away again? Trying to move off like Ace king, ace queen, ace jack.
Yeah, some of the offsuit Broadway holdings, the ace X's of Webster's range.
I think Roman's also thinking, well, if you raise 9x pre-flop and you didn't, you would bet this flop a lot, which would make sense because you got to protect against 3 hearts. So he's discounting 9x to raise and then just call flop, just call turn.
Well, a few people in the chat speculating that this could be the final hand. They don't think Roman's got this far to just wave the white flag with 7 high in the action.
5.2.
It's going to be
5.2.
back on Webster Lim.
5.2.
The non-all-in sizing from Roman Hrabec's the online crusher. First Triton series. If Webster can find the call here, Randy.
Yeah, he's almost sealed it up. One small blind would be remaining. This is tough. Roman's played his hand in a way that it could be 9x. Very easily. Limp, call raise, flop you would bet, turn you would bet, river you would bet. It's very credible. You do block some flop flushes with the jack of hearts. It's important.
Webster just observing. Roman throwing in a time bank extension.
Webster might feel his hands a bit under-repped.
Exactly. This is where I'm leaning towards, Randy. 3.5x pre. Then checked flop. Just giving Roman rope. And he has been incredibly aggressive in this heads-up match. Another time extension being deployed here. If Webster Lim can find the call, he's going to have pretty much 9 fingers wrapped around that trophy.
Maybe. Does the remaining 225K mean something? It's possible. Could mean, you know, if I'm bluffing, you get another chance. It's a small factor, but
I think 3 years ago it would be. I think
Depends
now
on
in
the
2023 it's
the
it's not.
balance. Yeah.
You see all of these elite players leave something behind in these spots.
Oh, it's tense. This would be a really sick call. It's 3 barrels.
If you call and you're wrong, all of a sudden
You're
that
ma-
3-1 chip lead. No
nice
way.
call.
No way. Take a bow, Webster Lim. The old 1 chip flicking call. And he now holds 41 million of the 42 million chips in play with that hero. Chat is absolutely popping off at that one. And you can understand why, Randy. Webster Lim surely joining that exclusive 2-time Triton champion club now.
We'll try to get you a little bit better hand for the photo, you know. I'll try to get you a little better hand for the photo.
I love that. I love that on the back end of running one of the biggest bluffs of your career to still throw some banter out there to your opponent.
Yeah. Who shows up with Jack 3 offsuit? Wow. So he doesn't even, he actually has less than 1 big blind. He's got a small blind. 1% of all chips in play. Don't see that too often.
Webster Lim.
Is there a chance?
I
We've
mean,
seen people spin it
I
up.
was about to say, if there's a tournament where
Didn't improve a lot.
the spin right at the end would make sense, it would be this one, right? 7-3, the Barking Shark for Hrabec. King 10 for Webster Lim, 67% chance for him to take down this record-breaking 25K GG Super Millions. 5 to come, Randy. Queen, Queen 6, 2 hearts. Webster with the hearts covered. Hrabec calling for a 4, not greedy. Just to pick up a little gut shot. Deuce of hearts on the turn. Removes the 7 of hearts as an out. Hrabec's now drawing to 5 outs once. Webster Lim, 1 card away from joining the 2-time Triton Champion Club. Ace of hearts on the river. Seals the deal, Randy. We have ourselves our first champion of the Triton Super High Roller Series here in Vietnam, and it is none other than Triton OG Webster Lim. A lot of fans out there, a lot of Triton regulars rooting for the OG. Kind of just, you know, send it home for the old school guys that have been coming to these Triton events rather for the last 5 years. We see him go over to crew on the rail.
Well, we had a chip leader coming into this Event 1 final table, and that chip lead was never relinquished. Here I am with Chinwei Lim, better known as Webster, who has now reached 4.4 million in career Triton earnings, courtesy of that $965K you've just earned for this first place finish. Your second Triton title, now adding a no limit hold'em title to go with your previous short deck title, Webster. At what point here during this final table, if any, did you feel tested? It looked like smooth sailing out there to us.
I mean, it does look like smooth sailing. Like, I don't think I lost an all-in. Like, it was just like really smooth. But overall, I think it's like really tough. Even though I come in with a chip lead, you know, it's like, it's never easy. I feel like my brain is like out of juice right now.
Yeah, and listen, never easy is the kind of pivot that I'm gonna make now, you know, on the topic of things that were tough. Late last year, we lost such a bright spot in terms of the Triton family. You've won the $965K, but points also toward what is now referred to as the Ivan Liao Player of the Year Award. Given your relationship with Ivan, I wanted to allow you to speak to that friendship and just how dearly he is missed and what he meant to you and the entire Triton family.
I mean, all my close friends know me and his relationship. Like, without him, I wouldn't be here in Triton. So I just want to say, like, this win is for him. This is for you, Ivan. I miss you.
We all do. Short and sweet. And on that note, I'll bring in Luca Vivaldi to present you with a well-earned trophy and, of course, the Shambhala bracelet. It is Webster Lim, champion of event number 1, the GG Super Millions Live.
You heard it?
Congratulations. Yep.